Now, in my previous classes or lessons, I have explained how you can come up with a structure of learning and development in an environment, in an institution, as a human resource personnel, human resource managers, human resource officers. Anybody who works in the human resource department needs to know this, that learning and development is an important aspect. But now I want us to look at learning and development policy. Learning and development policy. And it's good to know that a training and development policy or a learning and development policy needs to give information, or rather to translate the organizational needs and priorities when it comes to action and value addition and affordability and effectiveness. Um, I have always said that my way of doing things, I wish to do things in the most effective and efficient manner. And even these classes that I'm offering, these explanations that I'm offering, they are meant to help my learners or anybody who use this information for research purposes to get information that they can make themselves more effective and more efficient. So depending on the size of the organization and maybe its structure and sometimes the function, the resulting policy can either be short or long. It must be a document. A policy is a document. Now, how do you develop this document? You need guidelines. Now, the guidelines for these are that all eligible employees must be covered by this policy without discriminating any, depending on their rank, their race, their whatever. Don't use any characteristic to discriminate in case an employee is eligible for training. Then as a manager, you need to evaluate the efforts that you need to evaluate the efforts that should come with respect to time and cost. How much the time do you need? How much cost? How much money? Cost in terms of money. Then you are able to identify the efforts that an individual can put in place or you can put in place and gain the best out of them. I refer to objectives. Check the objectives that you want to gain. Then managers should also evaluate the success of their efforts. If you are doing so much, ask yourself if you are becoming successful or not. Keep referring to what you did yesterday and see whether it's better or it's becoming worse. Then another guideline is that employees should also try to make the most out of the training. Go study if you are an employee. If you are watching me, you are an employee, go study. Students should take this seriously because they are already studying. So if an institution gives you an opportunity to study, then make use of it maximally. Then another guideline is that employees are also encouraged to use their allocated time, their allocated resources, and budgets to make the maximum out of it. If you are given a budget and you are told this is the budget you are using to train, make use of that training. Stop saying you are going to sign for, you just sign for. No, get the content. The most important idea there is the content, not what you are assigning. I've seen most trainers, when they are taken in for a training, an in-service training, they insist on that much they are going to be given for maybe lunch, for transport. So I have even seen some who sign and they don't go, they don't attend, or they appear, they sign the attendance list and they disappear. That is not good. It's good to learn. Learning is important. So training and development policy, having had those guidelines, the policy is set out to help your organization and specifically the employees to develop themselves and create more opportunities, to have resources within themselves that they can make use of the resources to create opportunities or even to make use of the available resources. So the staff that is involved in training and development is or should tailor the company needs and consider the points of setting up the employment policies, the recruitment policies, And the training policy should come immediately after recruitment, that once the process of employment takes place, then a training should take place immediately, because this sets a culture of the institution, and whatever the people who come to join your institution may be knowing may not be in line with what you want as an institution. Don't copy paste, don't use skills created elsewhere to grow in your institution, because those skills are not meant to help your institution to grow. So it's good to ensure that your employees acquire the necessary skills. Then a staff training policy should also be developed with the knowledge that there are specific competencies that each staff member, each employee must acquire. And once they have acquired these competencies, make use of the competencies. Once you make use of these competencies, it becomes a culture. Both as learning becomes a culture, and also whatever they have been trained in. Now, what is the significance? What is the importance of staff training and development policy? Why do we need this policy? You will realize that in the policy document, the document that we are saying we need to create, a training policy document, it must have the organizational values with regard to developing the institution and the staff. That means that this policy can help us to grow the policies, the values of the organization. Number two, it also must have a framework for providing activities, including training in the institution. So within the training, you can help the trainees, the employees, the new recruited staff members to understand the activities of the institution and run them up well without necessarily creating hitches, and the system should not stop. Then it also should focus on continuous personal development, that within this document, it can help us to help each employee to grow, to develop, to become better. And also, it must have competencies and behaviors. There are people who cannot behave well unless they are trained. So once you put up such trainings, you will help so many people to be able to behave well, and they will be of good character, and they'll be appreciated in the institution. They will be retained. They'll also do good work. They will not send away clients. Clients will not be uncomfortable with them. So that is for today. The lesson being a learning and development policy. Kindly do a policy in your institution so that you can use it for developing people with all these advantages. Thank you.